Hello. Anyways, um, uh, so I have something that's top of mind right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and touch on that, which is adult children. So, no, yeah, adult children. So adults that are still children. Anywho, so I'm gonna use two. I'm gonna talk about two types of adult children and leave it at that, pretty much. But okay, so there are individuals in my family currently who need to grow up. Okay, don't want to give out too much information. So it's a group of fully grown women, and they are acting like they're in high school. One of them, at some point, a long time ago, did something wrong. I'll leave it at that. Something that, is not a good thing. Cool. And so the other adult women took it upon themselves to try to get to the bottom of the wrongdoing. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. To try to get to the bottom of the wrongdoing. So they had to get together with the one who did the wrong, and in short, they did something to the one that did wrong that is wrong. That is not appropriate. It's a good word. That is not appropriate, especially in their age. So that happened, and ever since then there has been conflict and animosity, let's say, between all of these women. And it seems, from my perspective, that most of it is coming from the group that did the wrongdoing to the one that did wrong, if that makes sense. Seems like they have animosity towards that one that did wrong. By the way, she did not do wrong to the woman. She did wrong to somebody else that has no... The group of women that did the wrong to the one had no business doing what they did and had no business getting involved the way they got involved. But people, right? Whatever. So the point is, they are acting like children, is the point. Truly. They are making big deal out of things that don't need to be made a deal out of. They stir the pot. They stir the pot. It's really what they're doing. They're stirring the pot. And it's so it's causing so much conflict, unnecessary conflict amongst the family. Now, me personally, I don't have direct, it doesn't affect me directly, because I just, no. I don't, it directs me in the sense that I think it's so upsetting that when they could be caring about each other and being more loving towards each other as family, they are choosing to be angry and attack each other. Again, not directly like attack punching, but like attack in ways that are just unnecessary. It's just so anyway, I wish I could give more details, but yeah, I'm not trying to get in trouble and cause more conflict, even worse. Anyways, so I was talking to my sister cousin yesterday. She's my cousin, but she's like a sister to me. I love her dearly. And we were talking about it. And in essence, we said many things, but one of the things I stated that we talked about is how I'm not gonna go out of my way to proclaim to either one of the groups or to the group or the individual. I'm not gonna go out of my way to proclaim to them my perspective on what it is that's happening. Now, whether or not I should, different question. I have yet to determine the answer. However, I did state to my sister cousin, if the day ever comes that one of the individuals of the group asks me, and I have expressed to them in a way that I don't like what's happening. So they are aware that I do not like this at all and that it's unnecessary. I just have not expressed that it's childish. I have not told them that because, well, that would not go over pretty well, I don't think. But I expressed to my sister cousin, if either one of them ever dared to ask me, how do you feel, like give us your thoughts on the matter, like, I have not been asked. I've slightly given my thoughts. But if that ever comes to happen, I am going to very directly state that they need to grow up. They need to start acting their age. They are not in high school. Why is this such a big deal? This started because of something that happened in the past, and you guys are just pushing it forward and allowing it to continue to grow and manifest. Why? It's so immature. It's so immature and unnecessary, and causing unnecessary animosity between themselves and within themselves too. It's like, anyways. I do know this, and then I'll move on to the next one. Here's what I want to say about all of that. I guess that's maybe it's the foundation of what I'm trying to get at. There are a lot of individuals, adults, full grown, have children and everything, lived a long enough life, let's say. If not half of their life, close to half of their life. The individuals I'm speaking of, they're all in the age range of 40 to 60, I think. Yes. So full grown. There are so many people like that just can't get over themselves and don't know how to grow up. And I wonder, studies say that because I know there's a specific psychological aspect of how once a person gets to a certain age and they have not been able to, because there's different levels of maturity. And some science or some studies state that if you don't reach a certain level of maturity by a certain age, then you're stuck. You're no longer going to bump up. I don't want to believe that, because it just doesn't. I just don't agree with it. Now again, the studies say fine, fair enough, and studies are important too, but they're not 100% factual. No study is, but they're important to understand and acknowledge and base certain theories and understandings on studies. So fair enough. Anyways, there are so many people who are full-grown adults who still act like children. So they're children in a full-grown body. Get over yourselves. Like, pay attention. Like, truly, I look forward to the day. Because it's going to happen. When and how, I don't know. But there's a day that's going to happen. Because I'm not the person who's just going to keep quiet and push the problem under the carpet. Oh, hell no. I do not agree with that. I think that's a horrible idea. And if you think that's a great idea, well, good luck, first of all. Second of all, you should look at your life and ask yourself, is this what I want? And is a reason my life is the way it is if it's not what I want, because of the fact that I don't confront things head on when I should confront them head on. Anyways, whatever, different story, different day. But truly, when I do, I am going to attempt and do my best, because I don't agree that having those conversations, you should have them in the manner in which I am kind of speaking right now, very aggressively. I'm speaking aggressively right now because I am annoyed about it. I am frustrated about it. But when the actual conversation comes to be, I need to let the Spirit calm me and guide my voice. So, but no, truly, when that time comes, I am going to, now the manner in which I do is the question, but I am going to state to them that they need to grow up, that they need to realize, pay attention. Think about what it is that you are currently doing and have been doing. And then take yourself out of your shoes and watch it. And then ask yourself, is this a good thing? Is this something that is appropriate? Is this something that I want to, that I am proud of and think is going to benefit me? Because that's what they need, because it's not benefiting them at all. I don't understand why they're, again, immaturity, because it's not benefiting you. There's no good that's happening to you. All you're doing is harm to others and yourselves. So I look forward to that day, because it is necessary for them to be told what's happening, and hopefully I pray that I will be able to get them to understand the perspective of exactly what it is that's happening, and get them to ask themselves, anybody, ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this really good? How is this good? How is this benefiting me and the other person? I don't believe that they are doing that, because I believe if they were, and they were doing it in a logical or sane manner, I don't think that's the right word, but that they would stop. Anyways, here's the other one. And this one I'm gonna get pretty personal, let's say. I don't know. So again, this was something that I was talking to my sister cousin about. So there's this person, there's this girl that I met not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago or something like that. She, how much do I want to say? She works at this bar, and really cool person, very beautiful, and cool person, right? And so didn't think too much. I mean, I acknowledge your beauty, but that's it to that extent at that time. First time we met, right? But yeah, nothing crazy, whatever. And so that bar, I used to frequent a lot back in the day. Then I stopped, but now I'm somewhat frequencing, not so much, but whenever I go out, sometimes I go with my friends there or whatever. I never go there, but I never go to any bar by myself because that's a waste of my time. But anyway, so I've seen her now at that bar maybe 4 or 5 times. A handful of times. I think it's definitely been more than 2 months then since I've met her. But whatever, anyways. So the point I'm getting at is every time I go there and whenever she's there and we're talking, hanging out, I've gathered up to this point that this is a really cool person. She's dope. She's into things that I'm into, this and that and that and this. Alright, cool, whatever. And so now another thing just to give context, when it comes to women and the idea of, because I feel like if I'm telling the story to any one of my friends or whatever, their initial thought would be like, oh, so, what's up? Nah. Well, my thing is this, and I've stated this to many of my friends and family, because I've been single for quite some time now, since my ex. So that's, 2+ years? So quite some time, and it's natural for people who care about you to want you to have somebody, because that's, it's good to have somebody. It feels good. It feels nice. But I'm not in a rush, first of all. Second of all, my whole thing is this. I am ready. I am in a place personally, internally, where I am wanting, if I'm going to use my time and energy towards a person towards a lady who I can have some type of intimacy with, I would want it to be somebody who I believe there's potential for long-term committed future. In other words, a wife, because that's what I want. I want my person, wherever she is, whoever she is, whenever she is to be. Cool. But if there is, because I've had a few now, individuals who, personality is good and all of that, but for one reason or another, there's usually always for one reason or another, I confirm pretty much this person is more than likely not to be my wife. Now, can they be something else? Yes, but if I don't see wife potential, I'm not gonna waste my time. Why would I? Why would I spend time with this person and potentially because of my time consumption with that person who has no potential to be a wife, taken away from my ability to find the wife, right? So this girl is kind of one of those, right? Looks great, good personality, and this and that, similar likes, but, and again, I don't think there's necessarily a bad deal or a bad thing, but she's got 2 kids. One is 2 and the other one's like 8 months probably. And I'm trying to still get to a point where I can fully provide for me, my mom, and my immediate family. And I can't do that yet. What? No, I can't. Not right now. And I don't think in the future. I don't know what the Lord has prepared for me. All I know is right now, that ain't it. So anyways, that's not the point. Let me move on. So I only stated that because I was talking about that with my sister cousin. So anyways, moving on. Here's the point about why I brought up this girl. For the first time, we spoke over the phone this weekend that passed. And we spoke for about an hour. And she was pretty much, ranting to me about her circumstances. And one particular aspect of her circumstance was her baby daddy. She's got 2 of them, so 2 kids, 2 different dads. The first one out of the picture, and I'll leave it at that. The second one. The second one is a man-child. So he's a man-child. Okay. So here's a bit of what was stated. They had sex, and I didn't get details. I asked, but she didn't want to give it. That's okay. But one way or another, the first time they had sex, she got pregnant. I'll say this real quick. One of the things I respect about her and about any women who chooses, any woman who gets pregnant and knows that pregnancy is not gonna be great, because she knew that. She was well aware that if I get pregnant with this child of this man, it's not gonna be a very great situation. Any woman that still chooses to move through with the pregnancy, I have so much respect for you. So much respect for you. I have so much respect for women in general, but like all of you women who just go through such BS. No, that's okay. All of you women who go through BS like this one that I'm talking about, I admire you and respect you, and please understand that you are not alone. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. There's more to that, but I'm not ending. So, okay. This man has a child, chooses to want to keep the child, and he is living with this girl. And here's what's happening. So she is the worker, and he is the one who's caring for the kids.
Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
And this man, oh no, okay, hold on. That is not what I want. Go away. Okay. And this man is literally causing this girl so much complication. So she's leaving. The place she works at is shutting down, and so she's been trying to find a job. She finally got a new job, and as soon as she got a new job, this man found a job too. But his job is a very temporary job, about 1 to 2 months. And now she's in a place of like, well, I'm expected to work good hours, but now I have to tell the boss, hey, can I like work less hours because of this guy who decided to get a job that's not as beneficial for the household. And the reason, and she talks to him about these things, and he's the type of person that's, according to her, that he's just like, oh, okay, got it. Oh, right, okay. Oh, sure. But doesn't do anything. He doesn't do any of the chores that he should do. He has not supported her in any way, it seems. Now the financial aspect, fine, because she was doing that, so I'm not going to get on him for that, but she was telling me about how for her daughter's 2nd birthday, she was going through all this BS. She was giving me all the details of what she has to deal with, but she wanted to make sure that regardless of how much struggle she has, she couldn't let her daughter see that because it was her daughter's day and she wanted her daughter to have the best day ever. But yet this man on that day was crying to her saying, I forget what it was, but he wanted to do something that was not going to help with the plans of the daughter's birthday, and that was going to affect the plans. And she was saying to him, like, no. And he was crying saying, this isn't fair. Like, I never get anything. Like I'm so upset. Why can't I ever? And she literally was like, in tears, telling him, look, this day, I don't want to hear it. It's my daughter's birthday. I just want her to be happy on this day. Blah, blah. Wonderful, 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 wonderful mother. So, but this man frustrates me. And I can keep going, but I'm going to leave it at that. Because she told me a lot. Now look. We all have our backstory. We all have our problems. And I'm talking about men right now. I'm talking to men. Alright? We all have our backstory. We all have our problems. We all have something going on. But I'm going to say this. I believe, personally, not that it's necessary per se, okay? Not that it's necessary per se, but it is, for me, without a doubt, optimal and greatly beneficial for children to have a father figure, a good father figure. A father figure that is not a criminal, a father figure that is not abusive, a father figure that is loving, and that and just provides to their best efforts. And I say that because, circumstances and all that. But if you are a father figure that is loving and is doing their best to be able to provide for your children and the family, that is what children need. Or again, I don't want to say necessarily need, because my mother I didn't have that. My mother raised me by herself. But I don't care what you say. Any child would be better off if they had that father figure. Or that father, hopefully. Hopefully it's not a father figure. Hopefully it's the actual father. But still, father figure is better than nothing. Anyways, so I'm talking to men. If you are a man who okay. Regardless of how you grew up, whether you grew up with a dad and whether the dad you grew up with is a good father or a not so good father, or whether you were a man who did not grow up with a father, whatever the case may be, here's the point I'm making. And this is something that I told a girl. So, sorry I'm jumping around, but I was telling her, because I was getting pretty frustrated when she was telling me about this guy from the get-go, from the early on. And so I said to her, hey, just want to give some context so you're not thinking like, what's up with this guy? Why is he so upset? And I told her, I was like, look, I was raised by women, practically. And so I have a lot of respect towards women because I've seen kind of all the things that y'all go through. All right, cool. In my current development, and even before God found me, but much more so now, everybody needs to take on their responsibility. Everybody. But for a man, in the aspect of children, I would argue that you, without a doubt, need to take on a significant amount of responsibility. Because here's the thing when it comes to women and men and children. Women don't have a choice, like at all. The baby is inside of them. The baby inside of them is literally their, I mean, it's both blood and bones, but like it is being created inside of you. So obviously, when the baby's born, they are born to the woman. If at that point the father leaves, well, it is what it is, right? But screw you if you are that person. Just an FYI. Whatever. Anyways, I'm not gonna go down that. But now, could a woman still like get rid of their child and all that? Yeah, they can. But ultimately, that action, I believe, is going to have much more of a effect on the woman than it would on any one man, because we just don't have that. We didn't hold that creature within us for months on end and then gave birth to it. So we couldn't imagine that. Anyways, I'm okay. Men, here is my philosophy. There's two aspects. One aspect, you choose to be reckless. You choose to not use protection. You choose to... It doesn't matter, I can keep going. But in short, because of your decisions that you chose to do, there is a child in the picture in the future now. Take responsibility. Take responsibility. And if you don't, first of all, you're a disgrace. I feel no shame in saying that. If you are a man and you choose to knock up a woman, and then you decide to dip, you're a disgrace. And I'm sure most men can live with that because of the fact that you're a disgrace. Oh, whatever, I'll be fine. Yeah, you will, for now. But you won't be forever. So you're a disgrace. And if you don't choose to make bad decisions, and then because accidents happen, and you know, the condom breaks or what have you, whatever the situation is, but then a baby is in the picture now, take responsibility. Take responsibility. Now, you can say, oh, well, that's not fair, this and that, that and this. Well, it's also not fair that the woman is obligated to have a child for 8 months in her belly and suffer through all of the emotional distress that that entails. That's not fair. Does she have a choice? No. You do. But again, if your choice is, yeah, I'm going to dip and not take on that responsibility, you're a disgrace. And I know you can live with that. You'll live with that. But at some point, it'll come back and you'll regret your decisions. And that's that. Simple as that. And if it's really that big a deal, oh well, it's this woman is it doesn't matter. A horrible person. She's a bitch. She's a crackhead. She's abusive. This and that and this. Who chose to have sex with her? Did you? Yes? Yeah, you did. Okay. Why were you having sex with her? Oh, just to let it, let loose? Fair enough. Fair enough. But take responsibility. Whatever. Take that how you will, whoever you are. Whoever's watching this video and formulating their opinions of my words, take it how you will. I don't care. I believe that as men, once there is a child that is of your blood that is coming into the picture, that is your responsibility. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, it's gonna suck. Get over it. That's life. Don't take another responsibility now. Leave. Let the woman handle it all by herself. It'll come around. Maybe you don't believe in that. I don't care. I do. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So, okay, sorry. But man, dude, once you have a kid, seriously, man, grow up. At that point, you really need to put things into perspective and start asking yourself, like, who do I need to be to serve this child? Like, one of the things and again, this is such a complicated topic and long and not easy to resolve, let's say. But we have watered down the importance, the value, and the beauty, I would say, of serving your child. Now, particularly serving your family, but I know that's more, there's so many variables with that, but there's not a whole lot of variables with serving your child. Like, in any situation, like I've stated this before, when I find a girl that I believe is to be my future person, I will tell her, not right off the bat, but I will tell her at some point in the relationship, hey, especially like if we're thinking of marriage, oh gosh, I definitely will tell her before that, but I will state, hey, listen, here's what I want to make sure we are on the same page on, which is, if we marry, I will give my all to you, and I pray that you give your all to me. However, if for whatever reason, ultimately things don't play out the way we expect them to play out, I have one thing that I request that you please be mindful of, which is, regardless of what happens between us, everything that I do, regardless of what happens between us, I will do with the attempt to make sure that it is in the best interest of the child or the children. Because once there is a child in the picture, it is no longer about you and it is no longer about her. Or if you're a woman, it is no longer about you and it's no longer about him. It is about the child, the children. It is. And if you disagree with that, fine, whatever, I don't care. That's what my belief is, and that's what I stand for. Stand for. So, okay. I think I'm just ranting, and I am actually. But, man, grown children. If you're a grown child who's just being dramatic and doing things in your life that is immature, unnecessary, and just causing unnecessary conflict, if you don't, because I know it's harder for an individual to do this for themselves, I pray that somebody has the ability to communicate words to you in a way that allows you to think to yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is what I'm doing necessary and good? And why is that? How is this good for me? And how is this good for this other person? What can I be doing differently? And why would that be good? I pray that that happens. And then if you are a man-child with children, either one, man-child with children, grow up. Actually. Now the other example, you don't need to. I hope that you do, but you don't need to. However, the women that I was talking about all have children, but whatever. Anyways, but grow up. Anybody who is listening to this and who may be thinking to themselves, I don't know, anything along the lines of, am I a man-child? I didn't like that. Oh man, that was not good. I really hope I don't get a flat tire. No, but seriously, grow up. Grow up. There's so many reasons why you should grow up and get over yourself and realize the disservice that you are doing and continuing to act like a child, and the value you can bring in growing up, not just for others but for you. So really think to yourself, if you are someone who acts like a child, and if you're, really ask yourself everything I've already stated, but ultimately you need to, because it's not easy to change. Like if you're a full-grown adult and you're acting like a child, studies say you're stuck, but whatever, I guess. But if you're wanting to change, like if you don't want to change, whatever, best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. I hope you live I do hope that you live a fulfilling life, but like I said, best of luck to you. But if you're wanting to change, because I know it's not easy, you gotta really think. You have to have a good why. And it seems to me like a pretty solid whys are for yourself, changing for yourself, so that you can be better off as a person, as a human, as an adult. For others that you care about, your loved ones, your friends, your family, whatever it is. And then, to me, most importantly, if you are in this group of people, let's say, who is a man-child, for your children. And if you disagree with what I'm about to say, so be it. But realize that being a child in a man's body is not a good thing. It is not. Realize that. And then with that, decide that the last thing you want is for your child to end up the same. Assuming that you love your children. Because if you love your children, the last thing you want is for your children to have the bad qualities about you. Good parents understand that there are certain qualities about them that are not good, and they do everything they can to keep their child from developing those qualities. Good parents. So ask yourself that too. Am I a good parent or not? And if you're not, I pray for your children. So, sorry for going off, but I said what I needed to say, and I'll leave it at that. Hopefully this was helpful for somebody.